Guerlain became a fragrance powerhouse in the mid-1800s when they were named official perfume makers to France. It wasn't until their second generation of perfumers that they ushered in a new era. When founder Pierre-François Pascal Guerlain died in 1864, the business was passed down to his sons, Aime and Gabriel. Aime took up the mantle of master perfumer while Gabriel managed the business side of things. While Aime had a few hits under his belt, such as Rococo and Eau de Cologne de Coke, and helped Guerlain win medals at different exhibitions such as in Vienna, Australia, and Russia, it wasn't until 1889 Guerlain sealed the deal on the house's legendary status. And that was with Aime's creation of Jicky. Now, the first perfume to use synthetics came out just a few years prior by Ubicon. If you're like, wow, that sounds familiar, that's because it is the same brand that made Princess Diana's wedding perfume that we've talked about before, Quelque Fleur. Anyway, back to Jicky. Aime used synthetics in his composition. This was because some of the ingredients that he wanted to use were too costly. Furthermore, synthetics were the cutting edge of technology at the time, and they didn't have the same baggage that they do today. 100 years after the French Revolution, Guerlain unveiled Jicky at the Paris World Expo, the same event that the Eiffel Tower was built for. And according to house lore, the name Jicky came from his unrequited love when he was at college in England. He loved a woman, she didn't love him back, at least according to the house. However, there were rumors that the lifelong bachelor was actually gay, and that Guerlain fabricated this story because it wasn't a great time in history to be gay. Oscar Wilde's trial was just 6 years off. But we don't have confirmation of those rumors, so it could have been about a woman. But Jicky was also the name of both his brother and his nephew, who were both named Jacques. And that's the more likely origin of the name. Now, in terms of composition, he took his father's Eau de Cologne Imperial and added synthetic vanilla and animalic notes to it. And the combination of amber, vanilla, and florals became so integral to the Guerlain brand that a writer actually coined the term Guerlainade to describe Jicky and the other Guerlain fragrances that came after. Now, Jicky was all the rage for dandies, but it performed disappointingly as a men's fragrance. That was until World War I when women's magazines started hyping Jicky. Guerlain then switched gears from marketing from men to women for finally leaning into the term androgynous, making Jicky the first modern unisex fragrance in the world. Celebrities including Sharon Tate, Sean Connery, Brigitte Bardot, and perfume girly Jackie Kennedy Onassis all wore Jicky. And this is a picture of Sharon Tate's bottle of Jicky that was auctioned off after her death. Now, Jicky has the distinction of being one of the oldest perfumes in continuous production. So what does it smell like? For an old perfume, it's actually really nice. I have a vintage decant from the 1950s, so before it was reformulated. Just spray that on. I get really heavy lavender, some bergamot, and then kind of a nice dry down into that vanilla and musk. It's light and pleasant. It's not too heavy. I could definitely see why this would be a unisex scent. It's an amber fougere and it has a little bit of spice note to it. And when I was creating my Gatsby fragrance last year, I used Jicky as inspiration because it was popular during the same time period. All right, part 3 of the history of Guerlain perfumes coming soon. We'll talk about Shalimar.